Seriously, is this the first moment that you have cognitively realized that you're in the gun show?
No.
No. When did you realize it?
After learning Kung Fu.
But like, when was it? Like, yes, obviously the saber spinning has put on awesome muscle on you, and then right now we cut to the before thing. When was there a moment where you realized, like, oh wait, I'm good at this. This is fun. This is healthy. It's putting muscle on me.
You know
when
what?
was that?
Christmas Eve.
Really?
Yeah, Christmas Eve, because on Christmas Eve I went and I saw The Last Jedi for the third time, and it was one of those moments where I really identified with the whole movie, and I really started resonating with what Kylo Ren was saying: "Let the past die, even if you have to kill it." And I don't usually think like the dark side, but in this situation, I was letting the past of previous ways of looking at my life die and letting things become how they should be. And that is that I understand that I am fit, and a lot of that does come from saber spinning, and a lot of it does come from being in this type of community where I'm able to dance and I'm able to flow and I'm able to have energy with people who are my family. And that's really what Jediism has become for me, is a family of people who understand flow art. And you know, I can't really say that there's anything better in life. Everything I've experienced since picking up a staff or picking up a lightsaber has been improved.
Well, I would like to say yes and with the modifier of there's a lot of flow artists out there, but not all of them are as dedicated to being a force for good as the Jedi are.
I agree.
And so I think that Jedi is actually a higher archetype. I think a flow artist is a really good archetype. I feel like someone who aspires to Jedi, because I guess there's a course there, because there's Jedi skill, but then there's Jedi real world efficiency. And I think the second is more important than the first.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. And I think a lot of that comes from looking at the mind as some sort of operating system, or perhaps user interface.
It's definitely got an operating system.
It's definitely got an operating
system. If it didn't, it wouldn't operate.
Yeah, otherwise
that's logic.
Exactly. And you know, I oftentimes describe my own mind as a computer, and I know that some people might think that that's controversial or weird, but I think it's a good metaphor, at least, for understanding.
It's not a metaphor, dude. What's 2 + 2?
9. 4.
Right. So the fourth thing you processed. That's what computers do.
Exactly.
And there's a thing called the uncanny valley in robots, where somebody makes a robot android that's so lifelike and has such a good AI. Some people literally get repulsed because they can't handle the fact that technology's that far. Mm-hmm. And that thing is so alive and so smart and so funny, but it's a machine. Their brains aren't flexible enough to accommodate the existence of that. Right. And that's where you get the uncanny valley. And so when you start thinking about your own programming with your own programming, that gets really uncanny valley.
Well, that gets really meta. And when you start talking about metacognition or meta thinking, what you're really doing is you're talking about talking, you're thinking about thinking. And by doing that, you're able to either macroanalyze, microanalyze, or hyperanalyze. And in doing these analysis programs, what you can essentially do is you can break down tasks into easier and easier fluid movements. So for example, if you're trying to learn this movement,
I can totally do that. I swear I can get that one.
If you're trying to learn that movement, don't do what I just did. But in fact, what you'd want to do is, let's say that it's this movement, by the way. I'm not a complete fool.
Okay, so here's the thing. Do you know what the best thing you've done in this clip so far? And I made a note to tell you.
Make a mistake?
Which one, though?
I have no idea.
Okay, because like honestly, I'm going to tell you that the best thing you did was not what you think it is. Okay. You swiped yourself in the cheek. Beep. Happy beeps. Anyway, you hit yourself in the face, and instead of wrecking the clip, because you had a really good important train of thought going, you just just wiped it off and kept going.
Are you still recording?
Yeah, it's important because this is the stuff that I want you to hear.
This is actually very important, audience. I have found lately with my saber skills, because of using that programming, or using language to understand your own language, using that, it's called neuro-linguistic programming to a degree, and if you use that properly, what I have taught myself is I will not injure myself with my lightsabers. So in the last month or so, every time I've accidentally hit myself, it has only been a glancing blow. It's been like at worst. And it's been really nice having that power or having that ability and be like, I won't hit myself. I won't. I refuse. So like if I do, it's just kind of like a little like boop, boop. It's not.
Well, honestly, for me, And I think it's a really important sales point to address.
Yeah.
There is a consequence to this tool. This isn't just something that is, if you spin it fast and dynamically, yeah, it's a consequence tool.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it awesome, because it takes actual bravery and courage to play the game at that level.
Let's talk about the scene in The Last Jedi when there's a lightsaber flying around in the air and it hits Rey in the back of the head. She goes, "Clunk." In the movie theater, I go,
No, dude, every
"Ooh,
single one of us,
no."
every single one of us that spins, we all went, fuck, and we all went, I know that.
I know that exact
And I
feeling.
looked over at you and you were making the exact face that I knew.